What do you require? Farewell.
Time is money, friend! Keep it real!
What's up? What's up? No, I was gonna try to stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time, but forget that. Forget that, man. I wish you could feed those to your pet. Damn it. That's pretty cool.
Mukra. For the Horde. Blood and thunder. Go. blood and thunder. Strength.
Greetings. Strength.
Sub. Go forth to victory. Down. Loktar. For the Horde.
What you want?
Careful, man. Who you be? Spirits be with ya, man. Be seeing ya. Talk to me. Later. Greetings, man.
And 3, something I'm called to the target, and it just takes a while for you actually to engage in combat in the first place. So anyway, let's go through the options. First we have the boar, which has the fastest intercept time with its charge ability. Charge also boosts the attack marginally slower than the balls. Not balls, Christ, boars. They have a 10% damage buff, which actually means they do 20% more damage than a boar, because boars have a 10% damage deal. And going for a boar until level. However, this does depend on what race you're playing, because if you play Horde, like we said before, we can't really make the boar good, for a fact that some leveling routes for the Night Elf completely avoid West 4, so there's that. And you also have to wait until about level 31 to get the dive ability. Max ranked is actually just as competitive as the other option, well, taught to your character. Then finally, you want to get aim any boar pretty much that you can find, and aim any boar pretty much that you can find, and boar or other pet. Keeping that strong fun. First of all, you should tame the encrusted surf crawler to get the claw rank 2 quickly. Then you will go for a Savannah Huntress at level 11, but don't forget to get rank 2 bite from the Oasis Snapjaw in the Barrens as well. I mean, you're just going to keep this cat until you swap him with a stronger form tiger at level 32. For the Tauren, things are a little bit more interesting. First of all, train a Prairie Wolf of a Ratchet. To gain those new spell ranks, you basically have to go into combat with that pet, use the ability a few times, and then your character will automatically learn it. And then you can pass that ability, it basically appears in your training window, and you can pass the ability on to new pets. So boars and cats need certain abilities regularly leveled up. I'm going to give you a quick taming path now to keep these abilities leveled up. It might be the case that when you're taming a pet, a new, to gain a new ability, that it would be actually more convenient for you to just replace that pet with a new pet. However, it is important to note that it does take a while for your loyalty level to go back up, and as you gain more loyalty levels, you gain more training points. It's actually loyalty level times the level, which is what the equation is about. I'll talk more about in a different kind of guide. So you may not be able to give the pet its abilities, the new abilities that you have, because you've replaced the pet. And sometimes it's just better to go back to your old pet because you've stacked up training points on it. But anyway, and I'm pretty much just going to move on from there. So the options on this list are basically the lowest level that you can tame the pet. So it's the fastest way that you can get the pet ability to then pass on to your current pet. It seems like the Alliance have better luck, really, with earlier options than the Horde, and sometimes they just generally have loads more options. But anyway, let's go on with the bite path. So rank 3, you want to go for the Wood Lurker at level 17 in Loch Modan, or the Ghost Paw Runner in level 19 in Ashenvale, or the Deep Moss Crawler in Stone Talon Mountains. Rank 4, you want to go for the Black Ravager at level 24 in Duskwood. You've also got the Giant Wetlands Crocolisk at level 25 in the Wetlands. And then you've got the Elder Moss Creeper at level 26 in the Hillsbrad Foothills, so that's the Horde option. Rank 5, you've got Plains Creeper and the Arathi Highlands. Rank 6, you've got the Longtooth Runner at level 40, that's in Fellwood. You can also get dash while you're at it, so that kills 2 birds with 2 stones. Rank 7, you want to go for the Saltwater Snapjaw, level 49 in the Hinterlands. And then rank 8, which is pretty much when you're at endgame, you're going to go for the Blood Axe Warg in Blackrock Spire. So now let's go for the Claw Path. At rank 3, you want the Shore Crawler, level 16 in Westfall. You've also got the Black Bear Patriarch at level 16 in Lochmodan. You've also got the Grey Bear at Hillsbrad Foothills, which is about level 20. So rank 4, you've got the Elder Ashenvale Bear, which is level 25 in Ashenvale, obviously. Rank 5, you've got the Scorpashi Lasher, which is level 34 in the Desolus zone. Rank 6, you've got Scorpid Hunter at level 40 in Tanaris. And then rank 7, you've got the Iron Fur Patriarch at level 48 in Feralus. And then rank 8, you've got the Elder Sharptooth, which is level 57 in Winterspring. So let's go through the dash path. It's nice and short and sweet. You go for the Curzon War Tiger or the Elder Stranglethorn Tiger, like I already mentioned, to get the rank 1 of dash. Then you can go for Ridge Stalker Patriarch at level 40 in the Badlands to get the rank 2. Then rank 3, you can go for Vile Branch Raiding Wolf, which is an elite wolf in the Hinterlands. Another way you can do that is just to get the Wargs from Blackrock Spire, but you will probably have to be about level 60. So now let's go for the charge path. Obviously this path is cut off halfway through, because you're going to be replacing the boar at level 32. So for rank 2, you want to go for the Mangi Mountain Boar in Lochmodan. That's how you get rank, because it will only have low rank abilities, which will massively reduce your damage of the damage of the pet. So I'm going to explain everything in this video. You know, I used to play Hunter a lot during the days of Nostalrius, back in the golden days when I could stream private servers without getting my wrist slapped. Which reminds me, guys, please do give me a quick follow on Twitch, because when the game comes out, I will be streaming a lot over on Twitch. So this video will be split into a number of sections. First of all, I'll give you an analysis of all the viable pet options and the pros and cons of each. I will give you a taming path for each race in the game, including the perfect starting pet for each race, and you know when you need to replace your pet, etc. Then I will go through an ability taming path, right? It's important to keep the spell ranks of your pet abilities ranked up, and you can only do that by taming new pets, but we'll talk more about that later. So let's talk about your best options. The best option entirely depends on your starting race and primarily actually a starting faction, because like I said, you don't want to go on a huge detour just to get, you know, tame a pet that's slightly better. There are a number of things to bear in mind when choosing a pet. 1. Enemy kill time. 2. Sustainability. And 3. Something I'm calling intercept time, which is the time it takes for your pet to get into combat, to actually get up to the mob in the first place. There are 3 intercept abilities available for your pets, that is charge, dash and dive. All pets that don't have these abilities are essentially unviable. Pets also have a passive speed stat, so that's another important thing to bear in mind. So guys, if you think about it, if a slow pet has to take a few seconds to get to the target, then you're wasting a couple of seconds each mob pool compared to a pet that can just charge in quickly. This means a couple of seconds wasted every single mob pool, which means every 30 kills, that's a minute. Right, and over the course of your leveling journey, that can easily turn into hours wasted just because your pet takes ages to get to the target, and it just takes a while for you actually to engage in combat in the first place. So anyway, let's go through the options. First we have the boar, which has the fastest intercept time with its charge ability. Charge also boosts the attack power of the first melee hit of the boar, which means it's good for getting aggro. You can also learn dash, which is another ability that gets the boar into combat faster. Some people argue that the boar is best because it gets into combat the fastest, it's tanky so it requires less healing, and since it gets more aggro in that first hit, the hunter himself can do a little bit more damage without getting aggro. But the downside of the boar is that it has a 10% damage debuff. There's also the convenience that he is happy to pretty much eat anything. Secondly, we'll have the cat. Cats have dash, which means their intercept time is quite fast as well, and only marginally slower than the balls. Not balls, Christ, balls. They have a 10% damage buff, which actually means they do 20% more damage than a boar, because boars have a 10% damage debuff. The cat is also much better at focus dumping since it has 2 damage abilities, bite and claw, whereas the boar only has bite. That basically means that the cat does even more damage, and that continues to scale as you spec deeper into the Beast Mastery tree. Prowl also has a similar effect to charge, but you should only really use it if you're already close to an enemy, since Prowl does reduce the movement speed of your pet, which again will reduce your intercept time. So the short answer to this question is that the boar is better until the cat has access to the dash ability. Dash can be learned at level 32 from a Stranglethorn Tiger, so I'd recommend going for a boar until level 32, then you swap it with a cat. However, this does depend on what race you're playing, because if you play Horde, like we said before, we can't really make the boar good at dealing damage because we can't rank up his abilities, whereas the Alliance can. But we'll talk more about that later when I go through every single race individually. I'm going to briefly talk about owls before we move on. The issue with owls is that you have to